This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another NFC East show, and we are here on Thanksgiving Eve. Getting ready to talk about who is the most handsome fan base in the NFL. It was already announced. We are.
Yeah,
At least it was announced by me.
And, I demand a recount. I'm just going to say that. Am I the only one? It got awkward there for a second.
It was another thing that we beat Dallas in this year.
What are we talking about here?
It was another thing that we beat Dallas in this year.
Well, most
We're talking
annoying,
about.
most
I might as
annoying
well
fan
just start right out with it. I might as well just go. The most annoying fan base in the NFL. Bam. Right there. Yours truly. Right there. ESPN.
They're kind of onto something.
And says NFL.
Well,
I agree.
Well, we'll go ahead and let you have that one.
This is the worst team. The worst place to play.
Which is BS because we got hot water. I don't remember when feces gets spread on the field at MetLife. Is that okay? I will say, is that the best stadium in the NFL? No, I'm not going to say that. But damn it, you turn the hot water, it works.
Hey, if those guys would have showed up and played football, they would have gotten hot water.
They would have gotten hot water too. Have anybody seen that series with the soccer coach?
I know what you're talking about.
The TED thing on Apple.
Ted Lasso
yes. So in the beginning, they showed the shower. Ted Lasso, yes.
Lasso, yes.
So in season 1, it shows the shower head with no water pressure, right? And they said, well, what can we make this team to be better? Well, we need water pressure. Sure shit. By the end of the first episode, water pressure in the shower.
I think with Ron Rivera being in hot water enough, I think they were just dependent on that.
Yeah, they took it all.
They're saying if they lose tomorrow, or if they lose tomorrow, Friday, Ron Rivera's out.
All right. Well, let's get that correct. There is no if. There's no if. All right.
Okay. I should get my facts right. I'm sorry.
When they lose tomorrow, That's what I said.
Let's start with that then. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Since you think that.
I mean,
Good.
A lot of people were saying, well, why didn't they get, why didn't he get
I'm sorry,
fired?
am I lagging here a little bit? Go ahead and talk, Brian.
Just a little bit. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Yeah. So after the Giants game, everybody was calling for Ron Rivera's head. And I'm like, look, they're not going to fire him. We've got a game in 4 days. There's no way that they're going to fire him. I said, now, come Friday, yes, he could be fired, especially, after the beating that we'll probably receive tomorrow. So, it's kind of ironic that if it does happen, this will be the second time that he gets fired after a Thanksgiving game.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because he lost to us back in 19 after it was the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and he was fired that Monday. So, instead of Black Monday, it might be Black Friday after all.
All Fridays matter. All Fridays matter.
Yeah. I've been hearing the fan base all week, especially after this Giants game this past weekend, and listening to what Washington has been saying about their coaches. I mean, I could understand, and I can understand where it's coming from, the frustration, let alone. But I think you're right. If something doesn't happen in this game, even just to stay close within it, I think, like you said, Ron Rivera is out Friday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, and I wanted to be not just Ron. I wanted to be Jack Del Rio too, because let me tell you something.
Oh yeah.
When Ron Rivera got rid of Scott Turner last year, he should have done himself a favor and got rid of Jack Del Rio too, because Father Time's caught up to that man, and he just does not have it anymore. He's playing too conservative. This is the thing that frustrates me the most. And we sacked, Danny DeVito's son or nephew, whatever he is. We sacked him 8 times.
Nine
times. Sorry, 9 times. We were 1 away from our franchise record 10. We sacked him 9 times, but it was never on 3rd and long. And we had many of times where it was 3rd and long, and all right, guys, let's not bring pressure. Let's just set back and see what he does. Well, guess what? There was 2 times, and it was both times are on my side of the on the end zone, where the tight end got wide open. It was coverage, and I'm like, I see it happen, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It was 3rd and 13.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the times where you bring pressure right in his face, make him throw it away, and then get off the field. But
so what is going to happen if this Friday comes around and Washington, quote unquote, might win the game or loses the game? I should say loses the game, and Jack Del Rio is actually the one that gets promoted. What are you going to say then?
I don't think
that's not going to happen because
seniority.
Eric Bieniemy is the assistant head coach. I don't see that. I don't see them going Jack Del Rio over Eric Bieniemy. I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
I was just curious on that standpoint.
If it does, my last 3 home games will be up on TickPick. So if anybody's wanting to,
there'll be a revolt. Well, I mean, let's be honest though. If let's say, I know I'll say if, but for pork rinds sake, I'll say when Ron gets fired on Friday, this is going to be a blessing in disguise for him. And look,
absolutely.
When you got players at the beginning of the season complaining about a 2-time winning offensive coordinator, saying he's too tough and we're tired what? I think Ron is done. I mean, I don't know. But when I heard the fact that, there's a possibility, that's what I heard, that at the end of this week, that Ron Rivera is going to be out, I'm like, I don't think he cares.
No,
I truly don't believe he. And I could be wrong.
I mean, when you watch him and Jack Del Rio on the sideline, there is no emotion, man. It pisses like. I don't yell at players or coaches when they're coming off the field, during halftime or at the end of the game or anything like that. And I was swearing at Jack Del Rio to blitz. Like, it is so frustrating. It just, I don't know. It just,
Well, what it is, I'll tell you, and they tried to copy the same formula that the Dallas Cowboys did last week. And what it was is put 9 in the box and let Tommy DeVito beat us.
yeah,
And that's exactly what happened.
And that was the thing. Barkley didn't have one rushing yard, I think, the whole first half, maybe even into the third quarter.
He had negative yards.
Yeah.
And the second half is when he had like 81 total yards. Yeah, you're correct.
He busted like a 60-yarder or something like that.
Yeah.
But
looking at the situation, going back to the coaching, the thing that stood out to me about this game, the Giants and Washington, was the quarterback play, in which I was telling Sneaky last week, is just let the kid throw the ball.
Yeah.
Let the kid throw the ball, see what happens.
Yeah. I mean,
we made him look what happened. He threw the ball.
We made him look like a Pro Bowler. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you.
And that's exactly the scenario. So if Jack Del Rio couldn't shut down that offense with the scheme already there approved, what the Cowboys did, it just goes to show that nobody was paying attention.
Yeah,
I mean, it's that simple.
And I mean, and that goes for Eric Bieniemy the week before against the Seahawks, when Baltimore did it the week before we played them, where they just ran the ball the entire time.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I just don't understand what these coaches are doing. Like, are they not preparing? Are they just not game? They're
worried about hot water.
Well, they're in hot water, so.
Well, that's again.
Tom Brady said it's mediocre coaching, so
it is. It really is.
That's probably what it is.
And that's the frustrating thing. Like, I've sat through some. I mean, Jim Zorn, for goodness sakes, was a head coach of ours at one point, and I sat through that crap. But last week, I looked at my wife, and after Sam Howell threw the second interception, I mean, we had 6 turnovers. I mean, you're not going to win with 6 turnovers. I mean, you have 9 sacks and you don't come away with a win. It just it's frustrating. But I looked at my wife after the second Sam Howell pick. There was 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I said, I'm going to go to the restroom. I went up to the restroom, used the bathroom. I came out and I said, I'm not going back down. I told her, I said, hey, I'm ready to go.
Wow.
And we left.
Wow.
And I never leave. And I sat through the butt whooping that we took the day after Christmas in Dallas in 2000 and what was that, 19? Or no, that was
21.
That was 21. And I sat through that entire thing. I had enough. I was fed up. I was like, I'm tired of watching this. So
that says a lot.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a lot for me to leave the game. I mean, even God forbid 70-20. I think I'll probably keep my ass still it has to be in the hundreds, but for you to just be that frustrated, and trust me, we're 3-8. I know exactly how you feel. Okay. But to want to finish the game, that's huge.
Well, it says more about the coaching and the play than it does anything.
Yeah.
I just think it's a sad situation overall that the management in that company still hasn't learned anything about not only its fan base, but about the situation on the field. And how long has this owner been here already?
Not even a year.
Yeah, I mean, look,
first year.
Yeah, and the thing about it, I don't blame Josh Harris, because for one, he took it over. What was it, July?
Yeah.
So he didn't have time to get his ducks in a row. He didn't have time to bring his own people in. He didn't have time for any of that. So I understand that. Like, I'm not mad at Josh.
Well, I'm not saying to be mad at Josh. What I'm saying is that the ownership, I'm not going to say is lagging, but when you're purchasing something as expensive as a team, you have to do some research. And what you said earlier in the year, Magic Johnson coming in and doing, you would think somebody would be studying something. So, I mean, this is the ultimatum come tomorrow's game, and I think Friday he will be out. I think that's going to be what it's come down to, is that he hasn't proved to the ownership that he's quote unquote worthy of keeping this job.
Yeah, I mean, there's already a lot of changes taking place, as far as front office and I mean people that we've grown close with, like fan relations, VP for fan relation, couple other people. I mean, they're already, their resignations in and they're leaving too. So I mean, they can see the writing on the wall. They're, Josh is going to be cleaning house and moving on. So, it's we'll be starting all over, trying to get to know new faces and everything else. So, but I mean, look, when Ron took over the team back in, what was it, 2020? The culture was bad. I mean, I felt like he's done a good job as far as fixing the culture. And so there was some good that came out of Ron. I just, as far as like the wins and losses, obviously he didn't do his job there, but I feel like he came in and did what he could do with what he had. So, it's just unfortunate. I mean, love him as a person.
And it's going to still take time. It's going to take.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to happen overnight. No,
Well, and that's what's even worse about the whole situation is that you've already taken time, and what's even more is that the media keeps putting out the coaches that you guys did have in 2013.
Yeah.
And they just keep regurgitating it over and over and over, trying to amplify what Washington did have.
Yeah.
And how they just let it all slip, literally from their grasp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Danny Boy was in charge then, so that's a different story.
Well, on a lighter side, Giants win. What about that? For the third time this season.
Hey, and all 4 of your first half touchdowns have been against us.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
You know what? At first I thought Saquon dropped that touchdown when I was watching the game. I thought he dropped it. But then I was elated, and then of course the fear came in because we never make it easy on ourselves. I was hoping for another, turnover, but we got blessed with a pick six. But I'm going to tell you this, and I actually made a TikTok about this. Those Giant fans that want to celebrate this sweep and continue to say how we own the Redskins football team's Commanders. Okay, good for you. But me personally, I want another trophy. I don't want to own one team. I want to own 32. And we are far away from it. But to kind of focus on this win, it was good to get a win. I mean, and to be honest, you guys had 9 sacks without, was it Chase Young?
And Montez, yeah.
And Montez. So it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
But we'll take it as it comes. And I mean, not only did the defense let Tommy DeVito, look like a freaking Pro Bowl, forget about it. But the defense looked like a freaking top 5 defense with the 6 turnovers. So
defense and special teams. I mean,
you
guys had two of those 6 turnovers were on special teams,
and the 4 sacks.
Yeah.
So it was a huge win, especially coming off of Dallas, and now we got the Patriots. And I mean, I don't see why we can't have a 2-game winning streak, to be honest.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could talk more about it because
because you're the Giants.
Exactly. And I'm hoping that we get another win to where, I'll have something to brag about next week, but we'll see.
Jamie, what's wrong with your guy, Adam, man? There's that makes no sense.
Adam.
Yeah, in the comment section, he said Washington beats Cowboys tomorrow. 30.
My guy, Adam.
Dude, Adam.
Well, Rick James said it best. Cocaine
Adam,
is a hell of
whatever you are on, I need some of that. Because that ain't happening, buddy.
In Colombia, they call it cocaína. That's what that is.
Something's wrong with Melissa too.
That's what happens when you step in late. To the show.
No.
You miss all the shit.
Hey, listen, I was definitely self-appointed
as the most
So I
most
mean,
annoying fan.
Obviously.
well, I mean, and that was only done by like 78 people, and we beat I think Dallas by 1 vote, which is
Oh,
perfect.
I got you.
And I take full credit and responsibility for that.
Dallas fan base, they are the most annoying. Look,
That's
True,
the way
I
it works
love you to
sometimes, I think.
I love you to death, but good God, y'all beat the Carolina Panthers. Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They're talking. I mean, I don't know if you've heard the buzz, True, because I know you live just south of me in Austin, but I'm hearing the buzz up here. They're talking Super Bowl. I'm like, oh my God, it was a 1-8 Carolina Panthers. And of course, if it's coming from me, they're like, oh, Sneaky, you just hate the Dallas Cowboys. Yes.
Damn right I do.
You damn right I do. And I'm like, you guys have the next 5 games, and that's including the Commanders. I'm throwing that in there, Pork Rind. The next 5 games is going to be telling. It's going to be telling on what type of team you guys have going through the dog days of the NFL.
Oh, very much so.
But congratulations beating the Panthers.
It's
Hey, Joe Trashina, Joe Trashman over here said that you guys are the best, and that the Eagles are the most fugazi 9-1 team ever of all time. So, but obviously, your guys couldn't do that because you guys lost to Arizona early in the season. So you guys have lost a few games. But I want to make sure to just let Joe Trashman, Trashina over there, let him know that, yeah, you guys are not the best.
We'll talk about the Eagles game. That was a good game, by the way.
Hey, True.
What's up, bud?
Hey, did you see that? So I saw the thing that you posted, Jamie, about the most annoying fan bases, and it just having you on there. But I did see another one where I had the 2 most annoying fan bases, and it did have somebody representing the Cowboys. You know who that was?
It had us both. It had us both on that.
It had Frenchie. Frenchie was on there.
Frenchie, the one with the helmet?
The crown. The crown.
Okay.
The king.
Yeah, the older guy. Yep. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'll take a screenshot and send it to you.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I saw one where it had us both as 1 and 2, and it had me and True in our stance.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Actually, True, I'm looking at your schedule. Hold on, let me double check. The rest of the season, you guys have a tough schedule.
Oh, very much so.
Commanders,
See,
Seahawks,
Joe
Philly.
keeps bapping away over here. Mr. Joe Trashina over here keeps bapping away, thinking that he's like this great Cowboys fan. Hey, listen, Joe, if you guys didn't lose to Arizona, you'd still be below us. So go ahead and take whatever it is you got, because you got your butts whipped the first game, and you'll get it again on the 10th. And you should see me face to face and say it, because you'll have to say, you're right there, Mr. Philly sports
Joe,
guy. You obviously know more football than me.
Joe, you better be quiet, bro, because your next set of games, damn. Wait until you're done with those. Wait before the playoffs. And I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just trying to look out for you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the thing, and it was interesting. I was hearing about, again, Arizona beating us earlier this year. 3 of our starting linemen, of course, were out in that game, and that's where our big fail-safe happened at, was our offensive line was gone, and then the other loss that we suffered, or we had 3 linemen out again. But the schedule that we have coming up, of course, Washington, nothing to take lightly. I don't understand these pundits out there, including Pork Rind, saying that it's going to be a breeze.
Not even watching the game.
It is an NFC East game. I mean, you know how we all play, the teams play each other within the division. But it's not a cakewalk. Micah Parsons said it best. We're not going to overlook these guys. And that's the way to take the approach. And I think some leadership is finally getting in that locker room with the Cowboys and starting to settle the guys down and saying, hey, you know what, guys, let's take this week at a time. Let's not look ahead. Let's not even look at what other teams are doing right now. Let's focus in on ourselves, which is a good thing. Because not only do we have Washington this week, we've got Seattle next week. another Thursday night game. So
I hope Micah takes another dry shot of his that.
yeah, that was crazy, man. The footage from the sideline, he was just like, I don't know if you've ever taken something like that.
Oh, I have.
I know I have.
Yeah.
And
what was it? What happened?
it was just it was a pre-workout.
Yeah, he took a scoop.
Oh, yeah.
He took a scoop, a dry scoop, so he just put it in his mouth of pre-workout, and that
You don't ever do that.
It works faster. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot faster. The dude's heart, he said, was pounding out of his chest. Like,
Been there, done that.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is
So
crazy.
right now, the remaining schedule, right? The last 7 games. You got Washington, Seattle, Philly, Buffalo. I'm sorry, at Buffalo,
Yep.
at Miami, Detroit, at Washington. So out of the 7 games, I'll say let's do plus or minus 4. Or what's the over under? I'll say. I'm just curious on your guys' thoughts. Over under for these last 7 games for the Dallas Cowboys. And I want to say this, like, you guys are beating teams that you're supposed to.
Correct.
Okay, that's what you're doing. But you're not beating teams that you're supposed to. There's a chance you're going to go against Philly, in the playoffs, you're either going to go against Detroit, Philly, or the 49ers. This is going to be a prerequisite of to what the future is going to hold for the Dallas Cowboys if they want to get their 6th Lombardi.
Oh, of course.
So plus or minus 3 games. What do you think, Philly, after these the next 7? Now, 2, we could say 2 will be Washington. So
Okay,
that and no offense, Pork Rind. No offense. So that means they got to steal 1. I mean, I could see them stealing 1 from Seattle, maybe even Buffalo.
Yeah, I can see him winning 4.
I don't know.
I can see him winning 4 or 5. Detroit
5 of the last 7.
Yeah, because I mean, Eagles.
So 2.
Yeah, it's going to be all right. 2 against Washington. Buffalo, Seattle, and did you say Detroit?
Detroit and Miami. So they got Detroit at home.
I can see him beating.
But they got Buffalo and Miami away. I could see them. I could see them getting 3. I could see them dead even 3. Yes, I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but
I'm not too busy worried about the other games.
That's a smart answer. That's what I would say.
The only thing that I right now, as far as this game tomorrow, is what I'm going to be looking at from the defensive side of the ball. I'm not going to be looking down at Miami, Buffalo, whatever. 1 is health. Where are we going to be at health-wise in 5 weeks, 6 weeks? That's a huge question.
That's fair. So
what about that's you, one of the reasons I never throw myself out there and answering these questions is because I got to get the health of the team first. I mean, I've sadly missed Smith on at number 77 at the left tackle, at the beginning of the season. Now that he's back, he's doing his job, and it's great. And I like this no practice situation that he's got going on because it just makes him a better player on the field, well rested. Now, I hope he doesn't take any of that pre-workout that Micah took. But, going forward, I think, the health, we're down in the nitty-gritty of the season for all teams.
Yep.
Health is a big one. You look at the players. Joey, was it Joey Bosa? Not Joey Bosa. The other Bosa went out.
No,
and foot injury. And
it was Joey. No,
it was Joey. It was Joey, right?
Yeah,
it was Joey.
Yeah,
because Nick's on the 49ers. Joey's on.
Yeah, Joey.
Yeah, we're in the meat of things, and now the season, that's where the health comes in, and we're going to see who's being prolonged. And, this Monday night, the Eagles, Hurts went out there, and he took off the knee brace. So, he's been struggling all season with that, and he goes out and takes off the knee brace, and then there he goes. And the situation with health is going to be very interesting going forward from all teams that are involved right now in the playoff picture. And that's why I don't like answering those over under who's going to win this, who's going to win that, if it's not the week that we're playing with the scouting report, with the health report.
Well, you know why I'm saying it, because
I got
you guys, you guys typically don't beat teams that you're supposed to. I mean, and that's why I'm saying that. That's why I was curious.
No, and everybody. I mean, you got to go out there on the team and on the field and prove to everybody that you can win these games, and that, I think that's what's got to happen this year.
Yep.
There's
Philly,
no
what do you-
more
what do you
talking. You
think?
got to do it.
Oh, I can tell you,
So-
our next win's going to come in the 2024 season. So, just being honest.
Maybe. Joe Trashman over here was saying if I was the Eagles, I'd be worried about Buffalo. As funny as that sounds, I actually agree with you, Joe. I actually look at this game as a trap game, which sounds funny to think
At
that
home.
Buffalo, as good as Buffalo is a trap game. But when you have two games that are circled on your schedule, i.e. the Chiefs and then the 49ers, which, they said they were actually probably more interested in playing the 49ers than playing the rematch with the Chiefs. That when you have two circles on the schedule and a game in between them, that's that is a big deal, right? I think it's a trap game. I think that this is a trap game, and they need to make sure to be on their game. It's just my opinion there. I feel like that if there was a trap game, the Jets was kind of a trap game, but I looked at that as I thought it was more of a trap game because of what was going on with the baseball and everybody watching the Phillies. And then, kind of because it worked the opposite way afterwards, that everybody was watching, the Eagles, and the Phillies wound up losing too. So,
Yeah.
but, I do believe that this could be a little bit of a trap game, and they gotta be on it if they're not gonna, if they're gonna win this game.
Well, let me ask you this. I didn't watch the whole game Monday night, but when I saw the highlights and I did watch the replay Tuesday, I wouldn't. I mean, you guys won. You guys had the game. No doubt about it, right? No, you got it in the win column, whatever the case may be. But in my opinion, it's more so that the Chiefs lost the game than the Philadelphia Eagles, because and I'm gonna use a word, if, right? If, okay.
2 turnovers in the red zone.
Well, not only that, yeah, exactly. If Kelsey didn't fumble the ball, 3 points.
Yep.
If Homeboy would have caught that pass, that's 10 points right there. So I would love, right, because I know we're probably not going to be in it. I would love to see the rematch in the Super Bowl. And if I would, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If I was Philadelphia, I'd be like, you know what? We still haven't found our groove yet. We're still not playing perfect football, but we're finding ways to win. But then I'd look at the Chiefs and be like, we're only 2 plays away. We're not that far. Now, I'm not saying, what do they call that type of win? A morale win? I don't believe in those. But if I had to get any takeaways, I could see both teams walking away. We're like, you know what? I'm glad we won, but we can still get better. And like, you know what? We lost, but this team is 8-1.
Yeah. Hey, Sneaky, you're also forgetting Mahomes did throw an interception in the end zone to Byard too.
Oh, yes. Right. So that's another at minimum 3 points.
And Travis Swift fumbled in the red zone.
Right. I included that.
Travis Kelce,
that was one of the Right.
I was like,
right.
who's Travis Swift?
And
He was talking about.
and on top of that, it was like there were 5 main drops that I counted.
Yes.
And then you could go with a sixth one, which happened literally right in front of me, where all he had to do was look up and catch the ball, and the Eagles would have been downed on the 1. Instead, he basketball catched it. 3 points was good in the end zone at the 20. So
yeah, they're looking at that game. Yeah, looking at that game, I'm not looking at what the mistakes at Kansas City. They just didn't execute. I'm not seeing them as mistakes. I'm seeing them as they didn't execute those plays.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between last year and this year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, they were making those plays. This year, not so much. Regardless of the weather up there this past week, I mean, you don't score in the second half. You don't score in the second half. That says more about the Chiefs than it does the Eagles. That there's no other way to put it. Any other team that would say, if the Cowboys had did that, went out there and didn't score in the second half, we would hear it for days until the next game. But since it's the Chiefs, it's just what can Mahomes do to better himself? What can the Kansas City Chiefs do?
So, Tuesday's ESPN, they were quite brutal.
They're
with Pat Mahomes.
Chiefs.
My only question is, and I'm going to say this: it
wasn't
Schuster?
Mahomes' fault. When you throw them in the hands and you hit them in the hands and they miss
I know
them,
you can't do that,
and they drop them.
I'm going to tell you,
that's the
Tyreek
problem.
Hill.
It had nothing to do with Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill would have caught that ball, and Schuster would have caught that ball.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm talking about the depot.
Hey, Tyreek wouldn't have had to dive for the ball. He would have tried.
He would have to slow down. He would have to slow down to catch it.
Yeah,
and again,
he would have been waiting on the ball.
And again, it says more about the Chiefs than it does the Eagles. We all need to score in this league, and you don't score in a half. I mean, even 3 points, get yourself close enough. Now that's that gunslinger mentality in Mahomes, just slinging the ball around. But again, he can't catch those balls that he's throwing, and a lot of those
he can't do it.
Should have been caught. But hey, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
And this has been an issue that has plagued this team all season.
Oh yeah,
that's how they lost to Detroit. Drop balls.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they got to fix it. They got to fix it if they want to be successful. Now, I mean, the AFC, you have Baltimore in the lead of the conference now. They dropped.
And
Patrick Mahomes, has yet to play an away playoff game. I don't know if that's a fun fact that I found out.
It's because he's been up for 5 seasons.
Yep.
But this is the favorite part of the season for me, because this is right in the middle. What are you going to do? How are you going to prove yourself to get where you're going? And I know we're not near the playoffs yet, but we're close enough to start getting a playoff picture.
It's playoff football right now.
Yeah.
You're playing in the meat potatoes of the schedule.
Yep.
Even if you're out of it, like for us, this is the meat and potatoes of our schedule.
This is the gauntlet. This is the gauntlet. This is what they call the gauntlet for a reason.
Yep. Yeah, and again, even though you might say that you're not in the playoff picture, doesn't mean you can't do any damage. Who's trying to look at a playoff game, getting into the playoffs themselves, or hurt them by lowering, where they're at in the standings. So, I mean, you guys got the Eagles one more time, don't you?
Who's we play them twice. We still got them twice.
Yeah. So
Christmas and we're actually
we
going
got Giants,
to
Arizona Giants. So we go 3-0 in the last 3 games.
Well, if you clinch everything, we might take the last one. So
you're right. I agree with that.
That's at least what I'm hoping for.
That's again where we're talking about.
Although you guys, by winning that game, you guys may give yourselves give yourselves a worse draft pick, and I want to hear what you have to say. If by chance your team blows it to get a better draft pick, I'm going to have a lot to say the next week. I am going to tell you that.
I could care
I'm going to, because I'm going to say that coach should be banned from the NFL. Should not be in here because he threw the game. Blah blah blah. Let me get my tissues out so I can wipe my eyes, because I don't like it when teams throw games.
And that's not even.
Are you sure you're an Eagles fan and not a Cowboys fan? Because apparently you hold on to. No, I'm kidding.
And that's not even at the draft, Sneaky. It's going to be way worse at the draft.
Oh yeah, and that's it. I get a lot of Giant fans talking about we should get Caleb, we should get. I'm like, we got the red. I almost said a cuss word. We got the Commanders this week. And they still talking about we should have lost. No, we got the Patriots this week. One person, a number 1 pick, is not going to change our future. Look, if we get Caleb Williams, great. Who's going to block for him?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on now. Let's just be logical. Let's just play out this season. I mean, I know it's a long shot. We still have a chance to get a winning record. Let's just focus on game to game and just take it as it falls,
And just remember, just because you're number one quarterback doesn't mean you're going to succeed in the NFL.
Exactly.
How about
Exactly.
I'd rather have that number one offensive guard or tackle.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why you choose big men in the first round and the second round, because
Right about
fast, big guys, they don't make a lot of them.
Nope.
No, they don't.
Nope.
They sure
So-
don't.
All right,
talk
so
about
let's get
ball.
to the game. So we were at the 20-minute call here. Starting off on Thursday, Thanksgiving Thursday. The Washington Commanders are headed down to Dallas to play the Dallas Cowboys on 4:30 on Thursday. The over/under is 48.5, and the Cowboys are favored by 13.5.
You said
Wow, it went
48
up.
and a half? All right, I'll make this quick and
48
easy.
and a half.
Cowboys 56, Commanders 17.
Wow. That's a lot of points, Pork Ryan.
I mean, I've
That's
been
gonna go
there,
over.
and yeah, it's gonna go over. Yeah, I witnessed it before. It's gonna happen again.
You've seen it. It's going to be deja vu all over again.
He's like, I'm not even going down those steps anymore.
Wow,
Wow, that's actually gone up since this morning. I remember reading this morning it was 12.5. So it's slowly creeping up there. So that tells me, I mean, I haven't heard any injuries coming out of the Washington clubhouse. I still see Howell. I still see McLaurin. I still see all these guys. I still see them on the list. So I don't know how that's going up so much.
Maddie,
You know
I love
what?
you, but not gonna happen.
I'm gonna show Commander some love for Pork Ryan, and I'm gonna take Maddie's score by 3. Field goal at the end. Somebody got to do it because I'm
I
going for
need
my
to-
Giants regardless. So
What gummies are y'all taking? Because I need to.
the ones you gave me. No, let me stop.
I'm not ruining my Thanksgiving dinner
So-
tomorrow.
So I
But
tell you,
afterwards,
on Sunday, when I was doing the podcast for Northeast Streaming Sports, I actually chose the Giants, and that was when I was the only one that chose the Giants, and that was on Mac's show, where Mac is a Giants fan, chose against his team, and I chose the Giants. I'm like, Giants just beat the Redskins or the Commanders or the football team. It's just what they do. And that it was going to happen. It's going to be DeVito's first win. And that was the case. I'm going to go and say, yeah, the Washington ain't going to win this game either. So, I think Dallas is going to win it. I think they are going to win it fairly big. I feel like that Washington, although here's the one thing I will say. When it comes to playing for Ron Rivera, short of an illness, cancer, whatever, you know what I mean? They come to play when it's possibly he's not going to be around anymore. And that's the one thing I think Washington will have going for them. So I think that's it. I think it'll be closer. I think it will go over. I got it at like 31, like 31-20, 31-21.
Yeah,
By 7 field goals. You ain't scoring a touchdown.
I'm gonna roll it just like the Carolina game, where you're gonna see some sort of offense leading up in the first quarter. You might see a drive or two. You're gonna see the second quarter transition into something better. It's just, I see the defense, prevailing in this one for the Cowboys. I don't, the way that New York was able to do what they did, even in Washington, I think the Cowboys are going to succeed even further. And, the score is, I don't think it's going to be too ridiculous, I think there's going to be a couple of touchdowns towards the end of the game, but I think it's going to be around 38-13.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that happening as well. All right. Next, we will go to the Sunday 1:00 game. The Patriots versus the Giants. At home,
You're
the
not going
Giants
that
are a
night?
home dog.
No, I'm not going. Yeah.
Three
We
and a
actually were
half
talking about going,
is the
but we
spread.
would have been there right now. I'm sorry, Jamie. Go ahead. So sorry.
3.5, and the over/under is 34.5.
So I got 3 and 33. So I see this being a historic game
Ooh.
where not much scoring, and Maddie, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. And the Pats will go up 10-7, and then in the fourth quarter, Matt DeVito is going to throw a phenomenal duck to Bellinger, and he's going to catch it on his helmet. And then they're going to triculate the ball down the field where Slayton is going to catch a fade in the corner of the end zone, and we're going to beat the Patriots 17-14.
He's reliving that
Super
Cowboys
Bowl games,
touchdown.
a couple of them. Well, I'll just go ahead and say Giants are going to win, make it 2 games in a row. There's going to be a statue of DeVito after this game. No, I mean,
I'm doing that. Forget about it.
now I think Barkley's going to have a big game. I really do. I think he'll probably score at least 2 touchdowns, probably 1 rush and 1 receiving. I see it 21-10 Giants.
I'm looking at this game and all the media that's coming out of the Northeast up there with the Patriots is just, for a man that's given you 6 Super Bowls,
They're
the
ready.
amount of
They're
disrespect.
saying he's on the hot seat.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
That's why
what?
that's why I'm just like, trying to figure it out. How does a man who gives you 6 championships,
And just think, out of all the Super Bowls in franchise history, he wasn't a part of one, but he was part of every other Super Bowl team that went to the Super Bowl, win or loss. He was part of every single one except for the one in '86.
Yep, and that's the thing, and it's just, I don't know, man. I think the guy, what the quarterback situation up there too is funny with Mac Jones. It's just like,
yeah.
I have the Giants pulling this one out. I have them sneaking this one out, and it's pun intended. 13 for the Patriots, 19 for the Giants. I think it's going to be a field goal match.
Now, Philly, if you say you're going for the
agree with
Giants,
the
then
field
they're
goal
losing.
match.
Yeah,
I agree with the field goal match. I think it's going to be, a score is going to be 15-14, where the Giants are going to score 4 field goals and then get the safety at the end. So because they're going to run out of the end zone with not a lot of time left, and then kick the ball away so that you guys don't have enough time to kick a field goal, and they're going to win 15-14. And like I said, no touchdowns in the game.
Wow.
Like literally, you're going to probably have the most amount of field goals ever in a football game by 2 teams, but not a touchdown.
yeah.
15-14 under. The under is the winner here.
We didn't talk.
You guys can't score touchdowns.
We didn't talk about this just yet. But how about Jerry Jones saying Jimmy Johnson's going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Name? I just thought about that.
Yep.
About damn time.
I was going to bring that up in a bit. I was going to bring that up after we get through the games.
So
just because I watched that whole thing occur, since there was nothing, I had nothing else to do on Sunday in Kansas City. So, I saw Jerry Jones like gushing over him, and I'm like, are you kidding me? He didn't like him. You don't like him. So
It-
I feel like it was all fake.
In 1923, by the way, too.
Yeah, yeah. And I like how Jimmy was like correcting him because
Jimmy called
you
his
have
ass
to
out.
correct
Yes.
Jerry Jones or he'll stick to that like what he
Oh,
just
yeah.
said.
He was like, well, what did I say?
You said
So,
1923.
So, anyways, before we get to talk about that even a little bit,
The
the
Eagles.
4 o'clock game, the last game of the NFC East, is the Buffalo Bills coming to the Philadelphia Eagles. The spread is only 3.5, which is a little telling to me, and 48.5 is the over/under. I can
Well,
go
at
first if
work,
you'd like.
No, I'll do it because I'll be quick. Believe it or not, I'm going Philly, and I just see them getting a couple pick six, maybe at least one pick six. It's going to be like a 27-20 game or like a 29-20 game. It's going to be a weird score, I think. Josh is going to, Diggs is going to get his touchdown, but he's also going to, Josh is also going to throw some picks. So
I've got Philadelphia 27-13. I'm not really impressed with what Buffalo's doing this year. So Josh Allen hasn't done it for me. So
Yeah, I'm right there with Philly. The 3.5, 3 point.
Yeah, 3.5.
Either way,
3.5.
you're looking at what Philly was describing earlier as a trap game, and you got to look at the situation. It's going to be a lot closer than kind of like this Kansas City game, but Philadelphia's offense is able to roll a little bit more than Bills either. The guy gets himself into situations and starts slinging the ball around or starts running around when there's really no reason to. But the Bills, I don't think they have what it takes this year. It just doesn't seem that way, and especially with the crowd at home with Philly, I have the Eagles going to win this one 27 to what 24. It's going to be close, but they're one of those turnover games where it's going to jeopardize the Bills.
Yeah, I think it. I kind of agree with you a little bit there. I I think it's going to wind up being like a 29-26 game, and that I don't even know if it's even going to be a field goal. I think it's like a 2-point conversion to get us to 29, where we score a touchdown late in the game and get the 2-point conversion to keep them a field goal away, and that's how the game ends. But it wouldn't surprise me that something happens where we don't score that late touchdown and the Bills would win. That's where I'm saying I'm a little nervous about this game in terms of it being a trap. So I'd love to say that we're going to win it. I would say that I'm fairly confident. The good thing is that even if we lose this game, it doesn't even take us down a notch because it's out of conference, and we'd still be undefeated in the conference and such. But we would allow Detroit to get back into it for number 1 seed. So, but I'm going to say 29-26 on that. And then like that, that's kind of what it is. I'll be interested to see what Detroit does on Thursday because obviously that's a big deal for them going up against the Packers. The Packers traditionally do very well against the Lions, especially on Thanksgiving. Although this is going to be the first time in a long time that it's a guy named
Without
Rodgers or
Aaron
Favre
Jones.
is not the quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be that's gonna be a fun game just to browse about. And I know the Detroit fan Lions are really
Thursday's a really big deal for the NFC.
Yeah.
For the top of the NFC, Thursday's a very big deal.
Yep.
You have the 8-2 Lions, the 7-3 Cowboys, the 7-3 49ers.
Yep.
So very big day, and 6-4 Seahawks. You also have the 4-7 Commanders.
Who?
And the 3-8
how bad
Giants.
they can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not playing on Thursday. They're not playing
for whatever
on Thursday.
reason.
I know. I just had to say it anyway.
For whatever reason, the only games that I'm getting at my house is the 12 and then the 8 o'clock. I don't know. Not getting that 4 o'clock game. I don't know how that is.
Boy, that's when you need
You know, I'm
NFL
sending
Plus,
all
buddy.
of that stuff. I am sending all of that stuff over to the Sixers owner, who happens to be your owner,
Yeah.
just so that you
Let
know.
them know. Let them know. Time to get him out.
Pork Ryan wasn't
There you go.
lying. He was needing to vent a little bit today.
He did need to
It's
vent
fair,
a
it's
little
fair.
bit.
You had to get it
So
out.
real
Yeah.
quickly, as like I said, I said that we would give him his moment in time. Jimmy Johnson is going to be in the Ring of Honor in the Dallas Cowboys thing. Of course, when they bring the flags out, he won't have as big a flag as Jerry Jones. That flag, Jerry Jones, has got to be the biggest one out there. You know, he's got to have the biggest dick in the sky. You know, Jerry Jones is, a whole different flag than everybody else. But Johnson is going to have his own flag.
Yeah, and I'm
You excited? Are you excited there, True?
yeah, I am. It was long, overdue, and something that I was anticipating. And I still remember the day I was standing right there in front of Mr. Jones and in front of Mr. Johnson at the Hall of Fame game, right there on stage. I was just a couple of feet away when they announced it, and I've been sitting there ever since 2019, waiting for this to happen.
Who are you guys playing? I know it's December 30th, right? When y'all are.
The Lions.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
It's a weirdo
That-
day.
I mean,
do it.
you should have seen the
Yeah.
ticket sales shot up quick as
Oh,
soon
I'm
as that
sure.
Oh,
was
I
announced.
believe it. Oh, I believe it.
But yeah, I'm glad for Jimmy. Again, it was long overdue, and to hear him say those infamous words right after that, I mean that just, as a Cowboys fan, it just tugged on your heart. I mean, it really did. It was just the greatest words in Dallas Cowboys history, and to hear it come out of him
We stink?
yet again. What's that?
He said we stink.
We
That's what he
stink.
said.
No.
I agree with him. I agree.
But it was awesome to hear. It was one of those saying it's infamous. It's made famous by Jimmy, and the only coach to guarantee something like that at that time was just crazy in itself. But to achieve the goals that he did, he deserves to be in this Ring of Honor, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's about damn time. It's
Yeah.
been taking too damn long.
Yep. I agree.
I wonder if he came up with, like, if Jerry Jones was like, I might as well do it.
You know what? This would be the perfect game to do it. Bam.
Well, it
Well, I'm
had
saying,
been
like, well, because
been
he
in the
knew he was
works.
going
It
to.
had
He
been
knew
in
he
the
was going
works
to
for
meet
quite a
Jimmy.
while.
You know.
It had been in the works for quite a while. It's
I guess he started to see that there were a lot more Detroit sales
Yeah.
from
that's what it was.
Detroit people
Yeah.
Right.
than Dallas
They- they
Cowboys,
tra-
and he's
they-
like, let's see if I can get some more cow turds in here.
no.
I
They
understand.
travel well.
So, Mr. Jones likes to troll me, so he'll get his chance on December 10th.
I'll make sure he trolls you again.
I want my game day. I want my game day magazine signed, Mr. Jones. Give it to me. But
I keep it right here with me, buddy.
so, anyways, we're at the top of the hour. Another week has gone by, and we get to start doing Thanksgiving games tomorrow. So, everybody, all of our followers, thank you very much for sticking with us this show. Have a happy Thanksgiving from all of us to all of you. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Have a happy and healthy for you and your families. And as always,
Let's go, Giants.
Cowboys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
It's like hail to the
go
happy Thanksgiving.
Birds. Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I had to wait for that. I wanted to see if anything came out with Washington. And